Good morning, Richard de la Sky.
Good morning.
Sis Kakrafo saying good morning. I'm very
Good
well,
morning,
thank
Caleb.
you. Yes. I
Take
see Tegbe.
You know, Tegbe.
Yeah, forever and ever.
Yeah, Tegbe.
Everlasting.
Yes. I don't know if you had before Lama Tegbe.
Yeah, man. This morning, Sky is in black. Francis Sky is in something more colorful. So yeah, and oh nice. You have some beats from Kenya or East Africa, something like that. South Africa. I'm sorry, that's more South Africa. So this one I have a reflection of the African continent. You know, you represented the black star of Ghana.
No.
He's the black star of Ghana.
Don't misrepresent.
We choose to represent you how you want. You can't be mourning for 2 weeks. Why?
No. You don't believe in this cause that I'm doing it.
If you're more small, it's okay.
No, you can't force me to stop mourning.
No, you have to move on.
If you don't care, I care. Do you understand?
No, we understand. Sky, what's in the papers today?
Mourning the decapitation of justice.
The head of the judiciary.
Yes.
We understand.
That is what I'm mourning.
We
So
understand.
please, give me the opportunity to grieve.
Okay.
Yes.
But the royal burial also took place yesterday.
Yesterday. And yesterday, Togbi Amenya Fiti, I saw him, from Aflao, doing his thing, and in Asante land. It was great to watch, and yes, that's how we do it. When our neighbors are grieving, you go there and grieve with them, and we did it yesterday.
Yes, please. But the way you're saying, how would they understand?
No, they will understand.
Okay.
The Daily Graphic says this morning, royal burial at Santihima, Nana Konedu Yadom III, interred at Breman Mausoleum.
Yeah.
You can see military men, it would seem, officers in ceremonial regalia, and carrying the casket of the late Queen Mother of Asante Man. Beautiful photograph here on the front page. Also on the front page this morning, Ghana has only 139 public libraries. Authority cries for more. And then Parliamentary Committee 6 dedicated sanitation fund is for reliable payment to service providers. And another one says 483,800 students placed in senior high schools. Self-placement portal activated.
Okay, I'll start off with the Chronicle newspaper and front page stories. Lands Minister warns illegal miners, stay away or do galamsey at your own peril. Comes with a picture of the Lands Minister, Amakofi Boa, in a boat, what appears to be a boat, and in life jacket.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Other stories. Sarkodie allegedly scams James Jeche at Jubilee House. Naimos-led anti-galamsey operation rattles Etrima Mponia. Yes, and on the back page of the Chronicle newspaper, match day 2 of the Ghana Premier League kicks off today.
Okay.
I'll take you to the daily guide for this morning. Asante Hima goes home. Mahama big shots mourn with Otumfo. And the Tumfo is looking really, really somber here on the front page of the Daily Guide, really grieving. Also on the front page, Tokonu sues government over removal as Supreme Court judge. And another story says, Brits, 2 Ghanaians arrested at KIA with 38 grams of suspected cannabis.
Let's go to the Ghanaian Times and front page stories. Asantehema goes to the village, and village is in quotes. Similar picture, armed forces personnel carrying her casket at the funeral. I think that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, and other stories. President Mahama Greenhouse Company Limited donates relief items at Bole, Solatuna, Kalba districts. Also, 483,800 students gain automatic placement into SHS, according to Dr. Apak. And BOG has enough reserves to support imports, and that's according to the governor, Dr. Isiama.
I take you to the daily gist. Mahama dodges back on fab over Chief Justice removal. Tokonu, we are told, sues the president. Is he actually the president that is being sued? I don't think it's not the president who is being sued. Also on the front page this morning, a Blackwell fumbles in U.S. deportee deal. The Attorney General has been cited. This has to do with the interview with our colleague Bernard Koku Avle. And Siedun Ketia sparks confusion in NDC with thank you tour.
I'll bring you now the news center and front page stories. DVLA board pays courtesy visit to Margins ID Group. NIMOS scattles Galamsey site in Ahuafutu Forest. Also, Otumfo bids emotional farewell to beloved Asante Hema.
Right.
Comes with a picture of Otumfo and the departed queen. Also, 107,000 to do self-placement for senior high school.
Yeah.
And BOG must adapt, that's according to Deputy Governor for FinTech, to guide the nation's digital financial future, which is needed now.
Let me take you to the Herald newspaper. Bank of Ghana dances around money laundering and other financial crimes again. Another story on the front page says DVLA partners Margins ID systems for secured services, a revenue boost. And Margins is doing something really great in Ghana that the rest of Africa is seeking to copy. If you go further, we're told wicked stepmother burns girls TOTO with hot water for bedwetting. I don't know why Herald decided to go that way. You know,
Larry, why?
Larry,
Kind of language for that story.
that's a move. And then also, Ibrahim Mahama sees gun victim through recovery, now cleared for schooling.
Okay, to the informer and Tony Edu's last, which I don't want to see Mahama's successor. That's on page 6 of the informer. Delete doctor, professor from all records. GTech orders NDC chairman Gertrude Tokonu fights her removal as Supreme Court Justice. Also, First Skies Quality Works praised. And Baba Kamara diagnoses Africa's problem. Also, Parliament applauds Zoom Lion.
Right. Let me take you to the Ghanaian publisher. Tokonu drags Mahama to court over removal from Supreme Court. Asante Hema's death leaves a void, Asante Hini quoted here saying, and Tewu declares indefinite strike.
Okay.
If you go to the Inquisitor newspaper, which is my last newspaper for the morning, abuse of power, impunity, GI is in trouble for harassing their Kumasi landlord. Also on the front page, the Inquisitor's opinion, astute Tamaclus masterstroke leadership at MPA.
Okay.
And the mining communities hail Martinez's leadership.
Okay, to citynewsroom.com now, there are some Galamsey stories. When the river runs dry, how Galamsey has left Takrady thirsty, and how Galamsey is threatening Takrady's water. 5 must know insights. And I have a video here sent from a resident in Winneba who says that the water running through their taps is really polluted. It actually looks like Milo. It's a very disturbing development there. If you don't fight Galamsey, we'll boot you out. This is the GMA to the government, still on citynewsroom.com. Tokonu's return to the bench may be impractical. Professor Pierre J. is here speaking. Kolebu loses 300 skilled health workers in 6 months. And Tewu to strike today over unmet demands. 11 U.S. deportees sue Ghana over alleged unlawful detention. We brought you that a bit earlier. And Dr. Vladimir Nchidanso says Ghana couldn't have accepted U.S. deportees for nothing. And if you go to City News, ChannelOne newsonline.com, Takrady Galamsey activities disrupt municipal water supply. Generations unborn will speak of your grace and shakable service. Otumfo eulogizes Asante Hema. In the Bono region, NADMO assemblies to demolish buildings on waterways. Ablakwa says Ghana deepening global south ties as West shifts focus. And he adds that he was prepared for the role he occupies now. These are some stories on ChannelOne newsonline.com. BOG drops policy rate to 21.5%. That's also on the same website. Mobile money transactions hits 354.1 billion Ghana cedis in August. If you go to the High Street Journal, has an interesting article on What's next after national service? Life after national service, opportunities, gaps, and the role of intentionality. Big push funding source raises risk of likely projects delay. Will government be able to change the narrative? That's a big question over here. If you go to my journal online, Toko News return to Supreme Court in practical. We brought you that earlier. Okada regulations, government to amend Road Traffic Act 2004. Tewu declares nationwide strike, blames government for collapse of industrial peace. That's here as well. And on Asiedun Ketia's thank you tour, Wanda Kuto says it's an appreciation for 2024 victory. Man shot dead in Kerry in latest incident of violence. And Tema Mpakadan Railway to open on October 1, according to the Transport Minister. Let's get into the details of the stories this morning.
Okay, so, well, you want to take off, all right?
Yes, so I want to start with the burial of the Asante Hema, and it's in the center spread of the Ghanaian Times as well on page 12. Asante Hema goes to the village, and I'm sure there's an Asante expression for this English version. So the story written by Kingsley Hope says the final burial rites of the late Asante Hema Nana Kunedu Yarom III reached its solemn conclusion yesterday at the Royal Mausoleum in Bremen. The elaborate funeral proceedings, which commenced on Sunday, September 14, followed strictly centuries-old Asante custom, culminating in what promised to be one of the most significant royal burials in recent times. Now, the sacred burial ground has been transformed into a tableau of traditional mourning with flowing black and red cloths, the time-honored symbols of grief and reverence in Asante culture draped throughout the premises. These colors serve as a visual representation of the collective sorrow that has enveloped the entire Asante man. The story also goes on to talk about the ban on commercial activities in parts in Kumasi. And it says, in complete adherence to Menchia Palace's decree, all commercial activities ceased across the metropolis. Markets that typically teem with vendors and shoppers stood empty, schools suspended classes, offices closed their doors, and the usual vibrant public transportation system grounded to a halt. Even the iconic Kumasi Central Market and the busy commercial hub of Edum presented an eerily quiet landscape with major thoroughfares lying deserted as residents honored the memory of their beloved Queen Mother through the respectful silence. And let me just bring some bits from this story about who she was, the departed Queen Mother. And the story reads, this paragraph says, Nana Kunedu Yadom ascended to the prestigious position of the 14th Asante Hema in 2017 and brought 8 years of distinguished service to the role until her peaceful transition at the remarkable age of 98. Her tenure was characterized by an unwavering commitment to preserving her Asante cultural heritage, maintaining the dignity of traditional institutions, and serving as a maternal figure to the entire kingdom. She was no ordinary royal, born in 1927 at the sacred Benyade Shrine in Merdan, Kwadaso. Nana Makunedu was the daughter of the 13th Asante Hema, Nana Efia Kobi Sewa Mpem II, who reigned from 1977 to 2016, and Openin Kofi Fofi, a respected carpenter from Besiase near Etimiti.
So this is page 12 of Ghanaian Times,
details,
right? Great. So we'll get all the details over there.
Quickly, just to tell you that if you want to read about how the Asante Hene feels about the death of the Asante Hema, please grab a copy of the Ghanaian publisher, because they have details of how he feels there. And then also, exactly. And then also, if you want to know about who went there, including former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic now, President John Mahama, Bawumia, and all these big shots. You want
and
to grab a
copy,
exactly,
and then those different parts and outside Ghana. Well.
Grab a copy of the Ghanaian Times, not the Ghanaian Times, the Daily Guide actually, and you read the details of those stories.
Right.
But another important story that I think we all need to see is you want to deal with that. Is the Chief Justice going to court? You find that story in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Malik Suleiman says that the legal tussle over the removal of the Chief Justice, Justice Araba Saki Tokonu, from office by President John Dramani Mahama is far from over, as she is challenging her removal as a Justice of the Supreme Court. Now, her application, which is in the nature of a judicial review and filed at the High Court in Accra, contends that her removal as a Justice of the Supreme Court was unlawful, as the recommendation for her removal was in respect of her office as the Chief Justice, which followed a procedure completely different from that of the removal of a Justice of the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Now, talking about, just quickly, if I may, talking about court actions, if you go to the Herald newspaper, we're told that those deportees, yes, they have finally taken action against the government over their role in their deportation from the U.S. And the details of the story you find in the Herald newspaper, and they say 11 American deportees dragged Ghana to court over unlawful detention. And you want to find that story and read it for yourself.
I have a raft of Galamsey related stories here I want to bring to your attention quickly. In Takrady, Galamsey activities disrupt municipal water supply. ChannelOne News Online.com has this story. Says the city of Takrady is currently facing a serious water crisis as illegal mining activities known locally as Galamsey continue to disrupt the municipal water supply. Residents are struggling with limited access to clean water due to the contamination and depletion of water sources caused by rampant Galamsey operations in the area. This growing challenge threatens public health and calls for urgent action to restore reliable water services to the community. It talks about the Bonsa River Head Works, which has also been shut down due to illegal mining, and the municipal water distribution system has collapsed. We're told there's widespread community awareness and official knowledge as well. So these are some breakdowns of the story. And Nyaho Tamaklo to government declare Galamsey a national emergency now. Veteran statesman Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo has renewed his fierce criticism of illegal mining, government's handling of same, warning that Ghana faces irreversible destruction if the menace of Galamsey is not urgently addressed. In a statement, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo described the devastation as catastrophic, stressing that polluted rivers, poisoned food, and ravaged farmlands are eroding the country's future.
The Chronicle also has a story on Galamsey. NIMOS-led anti-Galamsey operation rattles Etrimam Punya. And the paper reports of a successful raid carried out on September 17, 2025 by the National Anti-Legal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, in collaboration with the 4th Infantry Battalion of the Ghana Armed Forces and officials from the Forestry Commission. The coordinated operation targeted deep-seated Galamsey activities within the Etrimam Punya Forest Reserve, situated in the Nkarie Forest District of the Ofin Shelter Belt Forest Reserve in Ashanti region. Information available to the paper has it that the raid was part of a broader national strategy to combat illegal mining and reclaim environmentally sensitive forest areas from destruction.
The Galamsey situation is creating a crisis situation or problem for the sanitation sector. Now, if you go to page 20 of the Daily Graphic, there's a story there that says Parliamentary Committee seeks dedicated sanitation fund. It's for reliable payment to service providers. A story by Mohammed Fufu in Tamale says the Parliamentary Select Committee on Sanitation and Water Resources has strongly recommended dedicated funding to address the country's ongoing sanitation challenges. Now, will also ensure reliable payment to private sector service providers. Now, the chairman of the committee, John Kwabena Oti Bless, emphasized that a permanent funding mechanism was essential because waste generation is a daily problem.
Now, on the CMB lorry station land brouhaha, no developer will take the station. This is the Accra mayor assuring, and the member of parliament for the area also has been speaking on the matter, Zaneto Ajiman Rollins. This story, particularly on which website is this? I'll bring you that. GBC Online says the mayor of Accra, Honorable Michael Pakpo Alote, has assured drivers and traders at the railway enclave near CMB that their lorry station remains remains government property and will not be handed over to any private developer. The MP has also reiterated this as well. So, the traders protested over attempts to have their land sold to a private developer. So that's a bit of something from Teu, right?
Is reporting Teu declares indefinite strike over conditions of service. On page 3, the Teachers and Educational Workers Union Teu of the Trades Union Congress (TUC) has declared an indefinite nationwide strike effective Friday, September 20, plunging Ghana's tertiary and educational support services into uncertainty. The industrial action, announced in a statement signed by Teu's General Secretary King James Azotiba, will affect non-teaching staff across technical universities, public universities, the Ghana Library Authority, the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board. According to the union, the decision follows government's continued failure to address long-standing concerns of non-teaching staff, despite repeated efforts and adherence to all laid-down procedures.
Okay, quickly though, let me draw your attention to two stories on page 13 of the Daily Graphic. So we have a story that says 483,800 students have so far been placed. So if your son or your daughter hasn't been placed, we're told that you should do self-placement and that the portal has been activated. If you want details of that particular story, go and read page 13 of the Daily Graphic. The story is by Justice Agbanossi. Still talking about education, if you go further into the Daily Graphic, we're told Ghana has only 139 public libraries. The authority responsible for our libraries is crying for more. And we have a population of about 35 million people, and we have 35 million people, right?
Yeah.
And then we are told that we have only 139 public libraries.
That's tragic.
That's related to education. You want to read those stories on page 13 of the Daily Graphic, if I may.
Yeah.
This story that we did that was killed by the Herald newspaper.
Yeah.
The story is from Winneba in the central region, and it says a 3-year-old girl is fighting for her life at the Trauma and Specialist Hospital in Winneba after her stepmother allegedly poured hot water on her private parts. I hope that the police institution would deal with this matter robustly, because we cannot continue to see these things happen in our country. It is completely unacceptable. They should investigate it, get to the bottom of it, and punish this woman if she indeed is responsible for what we're talking about. Yes.
Now, ECOWAS should handle U.S. deportees, not Ghana. This is Professor Entry Danso, and also Sky. Ghana's special envoy Gbevlo Latte, we understand, has lost his wife. Condolences to him.
Our deepest condolences to him. I mean, the last time he was our good friend Setekpe, and this time around, no.
Our prayers are with him and the family.
Absolutely.
Very important.
That was a news review.